Hello, everybody. I will be starting in just a second. I just want to test the audio and let you know that if you are watching this after the live stream has already aired, I'm going to have time codes in the description down below so you can quickly jump to different parts of the video, like jump to the start or jump straight to the pattern or stuff like that. Okay, well, I'll be on in just a second. I'm just going to give some people some time to drop in. Hey guys, just again, I just want to mention again for people that are dropping in, this video is going to be kind of complicated. There's a lot of different things that I'm doing, so I might mess it up a few times. If you're watching this after the live stream has aired and you want to just jump straight to the patterns or to different parts of the video, I'm gonna put time codes in the description and into the comments. So you can quickly jump to different parts of the video. But yeah, it will be a little bit complicated. If you are watching live right now, giving you a little heads up, I won't be talking with the chat very much during the first half of this live stream. It'll be a pattern. So yeah, so if you don't see me acknowledging you in the live chat, that's why. I have to just focus on getting this pattern perfect because it's going to be permanent for people when they're crocheting this. So please bear with me, and I'm sorry if I mess up. Can you tell I'm a little nervous about it? All right, I'll be on in just 2 more minutes. We're gonna go to 1:05 just to let a little bit more people drop in. All right, here goes nothing. Hey guys, it's Louie, and in this video we're going to be doing something very, very special. Okay, so here's the dealio. I've got it. Great start. I have stuff written down right here, so I might be reading for a sec, so yeah. Today we are going to be crocheting a little zombie pod person. That's what this little character is called. I call them pod people. Now this is a part of a collection of patterns that I have of a bunch of different Halloween characters. Obviously There's a lot of different ones right here. A few are new and not yet added to the site, but a few, most of them are on the site. And today we're going to be doing a special color change chart and everything like that. Okay, so we're also live on YouTube. So if you are watching live, hello to the chat. Hello, everybody. I think you're really going to enjoy this video, but I won't be talking too much to the chat for the first half. It'll mostly be me with the chat in the second half of the video, and I'll explain that more in a second. Like I've said in the earlier part of this, if you're watching this after the live stream, I'll have time codes to stuff down below in the description and in the comments, so you can quickly jump to wherever you want to in the pattern or the live stream or the halftime puppet show. Speaking of which, this is going to be split into two halves with a halftime in between. The first half is going to be pure pattern. It's just going to be me teaching how to crochet this little zombie. We're also going to be using a special color change chart, so there won't be, you'll see in just a second, I'll pop it up. My actual phone is going to be on screen, so you can see the pattern, and you can kind of see how I've been doing some cool stuff on the website. I think you'll really enjoy it. Yeah, we won't be turning it into a finger puppet for the first half. The first half is just going to be making a regular one with a closed bottom thing like this. And then after the first half, we're going to do a halftime show. I have a finger puppet show that I have prepared. It's pretty well produced. I'm pretty proud of it. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. It's using these characters. And then in the second half, I will be crocheting another zombie with the chat. With the live stream chat, so you can ask me any questions that you want. It'll be a little crochet along. I'll be just talking and yeah, having fun. Okay. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get to the materials. For this pattern, you're going to need the following materials. I'm using all worsted weight yarn in 100% cotton. I'm using the following colors. We have, we're going to be using green, brown, indigo, that's like this dark navy blue, white, and pink. Because I'm using all worsted weight yarn, I'm using a size G 4mm crochet hook, and you'll also need a pair of scissors, a darning needle, and some stuffing. That's pretty much as much stuffing as you need. You don't need very much. You'll also need a pair of some safety bead eyes. Here are the safety bead eyes that I have. Let's grab them real quick because we're going to have to paint them white. Okay, so you need two safety bead eyes. I'm using 6mm safety bead eyes. You can use bigger ones if you want. And then if you want to turn them white, you should, I like using whiteout. It's really quick and easy. You can also use fingernail polish or even acrylic paint will work. I like whiteout the most just because it's quick. It does leave some scratches sometimes, so there's a heads up there. This is what it looks like if you don't white out the eyes. That's what it looks like if you do white out the eyes. So you can kind of see the difference. Okay, so that's the materials. You can actually get kits. I have kits available right now. They're in the description. If you just go to right here, that site, clubcrochet.com/zombie, should be able to find it. I have kits available. They're only $10 for a kit if you have a membership account. So if you have a membership account, I made it really cheap for these kits for this live stream just because I thought it'd be fun. And you can even get a free trial for the membership, so you get the free trial just to get the discount. I don't care. You can cancel a free trial if you really want to. But I think you might really like the membership to the website. I'll talk about more about what that includes a little bit later. Okay, so that's all the materials. Now is the really tricky kind of fun part. I am actually going to have my phone on screen, so let's go ahead and just put that on right now. Oh, there we go. So this is my phone. I am going to be going through, let's just go ahead and unlock it. I'm going to be going through the pattern from the website on my phone. What's kind of cool is you can see it right here on my little home screen right there. You can actually go to the website and log in. This is if you were to log in, just regular old log into the website. You should end up on this page. And if you click this button right here, and you add it to your home screen, I would delete the part where it says member. But you can add that to your home screen and it actually performs kind of like an app. I've been using it all week. It's really useful, especially for this pattern because we're going to be using a special color change chart. So I already pulled up the pattern in the video. Here, I'll refresh it because I want to see if the video icon changes because I was just curious about that. Okay. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, so this is the pattern. I'm already logged in. You'll need a free account to get this pattern. That you just need a basic free account. If you have a membership account, you'll be able to download the PDF, which is really cool because there are check marks. We'll talk about that more in the second half of this video. Okay, so we talked about the overview. This is how long it takes. I think it's about a medium difficulty, but you might disagree. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. I totally am willing to change that kind of information based on what other people think, just because it's all based on my own thoughts. Okay, so there are two different versions of this pattern. They're basically the same version, but the first part is a written color change chart the written pattern with the color change chart combined, and then the second half is the color change chart alone. Obviously, we talked about all the materials that we need. Okay, these are the stitches that we're going to be using for this pattern. You can see all them stitches right there. Don't worry, I will go through every stitch. We're going to go stitch by stitch in this tutorial, so you'll never, you won't really need to look up all these tutorials if you don't want to, because we'll be doing it in this video. All right, now here is the complicated part. We are going to be using a color change chart for this pattern. So this pattern is the first one that I'm really premiering publicly. So please bear with me. I've worked really hard trying to design a color change chart to explain all of the changes that we're going to be doing in this pattern. It makes the pattern way, way easier. So here's how to read it. The border, it's comprised of a bunch of squares lined up for each round. The border of the squares indicate what stitch we're using. So if it's a solid border like that, we're going to be making a single crochet. If it has little brackets in the corners, we'll be doing a decrease. If it has little dots, it'll be a mini bobble. And if it has a lot of little dots, that's a regular bobble stitch. Again, don't worry. I'll explain it as we get to that pattern, or as we get to the stitches. If you see brackets connecting two stitches, or two squares, that means that those stitches are worked into they're worked into a stitch differently. So if you see them connected by a solid black bracket, that means it's an increase. All those stitches are worked into the same place. If you see it with this little, it's kind of hard to see in the little camera right here. It's easier to see online, but if you see them connected by this like double lined bracket, that means that it's worked into the back loop only. We won't use the front loop only one for this video. We're only going to need the back loop one. So I actually could probably remove this from this page. Now, here is the main part of this, why this color change chart is great, because each of the squares, the colors in the squares determine what color the stitch is. Solid bordered squares with two colors require half color changes. We'll get there. I like this pattern for this because it kind of slowly ramps you up to the different color parts of this color chart. But if you see a color, a square with the top half is one color and the bottom half is another color, that means the stitch is worked so that the top half of the stitch is the top color and the bottom half is the second color. So if you see, you pull through the stitch to finish the stitch with whatever the top color of the next square is. Again, this sounds really confusing, but I promise it's not. I'm just having a hard time explaining it. Here are the colors I'm using for this chart. We need blue, green, brown, and pink. And some other notes. If you see a little black dot in the middle, that means that's exactly where you place the eye. Time codes, obviously I'm going to have to change the time codes because we're doing the video right now. And the first stitch is on the far right, and you follow it from right to left. That's just because I'm right-handed. I made it that way. I need to maybe make some left-handed versions too. Okay, so here is an example round. You can see round 3, you single crochet 3, you do a bobble stitch, blah, blah, blah. And if you look at the color change chart itself, if you were to look here, the first, whoops, let's zoom it in a little bit. There we go. The first 7 stitches are all blue. The 4th stitch is a bobble stitch. You can kind of see there. And then after the 7th stitch, you change to green. Stitches 8 and 9 are an increase. You kind of see how it works. This is a complicated round. It won't be that complicated when we get to this pattern. What's also cool is these little boxes here are all check marks, so you can keep track of your progress. You'll see me using those throughout this video. All right, so here's the gauge, other useful info, and let's get started with the lesson. If you like this video, by the way, please like it down below. I would really appreciate it. I obviously took a long time trying to figure this all out, so I hope you enjoy it. All right, so we're just gonna put all these guys to the side here. Put them, and we'll put our finished zombie there too. Put this there. And I'm going to start by making our white eyes for our character, and that's just going to be pretty easy. All we have to do is poke some holes in a piece of cardboard just like this, and we're going to use the whiteout for that. I'm going to be making 4 because I'll need some for the second half of this video anyhow, and I find it's easiest just to do it right now. And I just take the eye and I'll just poke them into our little cardboard just like that. I'm gonna just make these eyes now because we need them to be dry by the time we need to use them anyhow, so might as well just paint them up right now. All right. And yes, I'm glad this phone thing is working. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so we got our eyes on there. Now I'm just gonna take my white out, shake it up a little bit, and not spill any. I spilled a bunch one time, and it was a bad day for me. So try not to spill your white out. But I'm just gonna really easily just be painting all of them. I don't worry about getting it too messy on the cardboard because we're just gonna pop it off of this cardboard anyhow. This one's gonna be kind of milky, like he's just got blinded because the whiteout's kind of running out. I could dip it to make it a little bit more, but it might be fun to make it kind of like a broken white like that. So maybe one of our characters will be a little different. The whiteout's actually already almost dry, which is one of the reasons why I really like whiteout. Okay, so we're gonna put that to the side there and get started. We're gonna start with our green yarn here. And wherever my crochet hook is, here it is. And for round 1, here you can see round 1 on our color change chart. It is going to be 6 single crochets into a magic loop, and as you can see, they are all green stitches. And you see how they're all connected by one big bracket? That's because all of those stitches are worked into the same magic loop. So there's like your first instance of that black increase bracket. So all those stitches are worked into a magic loop. This is how you do a magic loop. I should probably go through that too. For a magic loop, I'm going to take the yarn, go over my fingers like this. This is a newer way for me to do a magic loop, so bear with me. I take my 2 index and middle finger and I go around them and create a little X on my finger like that. And then I go back over my finger and grab a hold of this end with my back 2 fingers. Now I can flip it upside down like that. Take my crochet hook. We're gonna go under the first loop and hook onto the second loop and pull that second loop through the first one. And we're just gonna twist it like that and then grab a hold of that same end that you pulled through right there and pull that through the loop to create a chain. There we go. And I'm sorry, chat, I will get to you guys soon, I promise. Okay. All right, so we are going to single crochet 6 times into the magic loop. All of our stitches are green. That's nice and easy. We're just gonna go into the loop and do single crochets. So into the middle loop, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2 first single crochets. We're just gonna do 6 of those. 3, 4, 5, and 6. We can go ahead and pull this nice and tight now. Now we might want a stitch marker. So let's go ahead and grab that orange yarn here. We'll use that as a stitch marker. That'll be the end of round 1. This pattern's worked in the round without turning, so it's really easy. We're just gonna keep working in a spiral. For round 2, we're gonna be doing an increase into each stitch around. And, oh, we can check off round 1 now. For round 2, we're doing an increase in each stitch. You can see that all the stitches are connected by brackets. It's kind of hard to see the numbers of the stitches because it's so tiny, but you get what's happening there. And they're all green. So we just need to do green increases into each stitch. Nice and easy. We're going to take our color, or our new color here, place it over like that. We're just going to crochet over it for that first stitch. Oopsies. I'm going to try to pull this stitch a little bit tighter. Oh, I was pulling through the tail. Aha, don't do that, guys. Don't pull through the tail. There we go. Okay. You want to ignore the tail. There we go. So now we have a stitch marker in place. We're going to trim this tail end just a bit so I don't accidentally do something silly like that again. We'll just cut both of them because who cares? And we'll toss that to the side. We might use that for stuffing later. All right, so we're doing an increase into each stitch around. We've already got our first single crochet. Increase is just 2 single crochets into the exact same stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're gonna do 6 increases total. This is gonna bring you up from 6 stitches to 12 stitches. So you should have 12 stitches by the end of round 2. I'm going to try to go a little bit slower so that people can keep up, but that's why we're doing the crochet along in the second half, is because I realized that I crochet pretty quickly and I want everybody the ability to actually make this and to ask some questions, which is why we're going to do the live stream after this. Also, I just like hanging out with people in the live stream. It's fun. All right, so that's the end of round 2. You can mark that off. And now we are on round 3. For round 3, you can see that we're doing a single crochet into the first stitch and then an increase into the next stitch. And maybe I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Let's just do like that. Well, then I'm gone, but that's okay. I'm gone, and that's fine. It's just a little bit easier for you to see, I think. So we're doing a single crochet into the first stitch and then an increase into the next stitch. Nice and easy. I'll be back for the live stream, but I think it's best now if my camera's not on screen. So do a single crochet into our first one right here, and then an increase into our next stitch right here. And we're going to repeat that 6 times total. So our single crochet and then an increase. You can see they're all going to be green stitches, so we don't need to worry about doing color changes yet. Here is our second repeat and our second increase. Then we do a single crochet and then another increase right here. And this will bring you up to 18 stitches around by the end of round 3. You can see those little marks right there? That was my cat this morning. He really likes biting me and leaving marks on my hands. All right. Coming down to the end here. Single crochet and then our last increase. And now we're at all the stitches around that we're going to need. We're just going to need 18 stitches for this pattern. So we don't need to increase up anymore. So round 3 is done. Now we're on round 4, and you can see in stitch 17 on round 4, my little crochet hook's pointing at it, there's going to be a half color change on stitch 17 of this round. So this round is pretty easy. We're just doing single crochets into each stitch around. We just need to watch for that 17th stitch. So I'll just start doing our single crochets, and so because our 17th stitch is the color change one, we'll just do 16 in our solid green before we need to worry about our pink yarn. And please like this video if you haven't already. It took me a long time not only to figure out all this, but also to design this pattern and this color change chart and everything like that. And a like goes a long way for me, at least, you know, my psyche. It helps keep me happy, I guess. All right, so this is going to be stitch 15. Now this next one's going to be stitch 16, so I'll get it started right there. Now technically, for this color change chart, this is the end of stitch 16, because stitch 17 is going to be whatever we pull through with this is going to be the top of stitch 17. So we need to grab our pink yarn. And for stitch 17, we want the top half to be pink. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the pink yarn in between the green on the hook and the green attached to the yarn right there. We're going to pinch it down with our index finger of our dominant hand. And with our non-dominant index finger, we're going to flip it upside down just like that. Okay, we're just going to flip it upside down and then grab a hold of that pink yarn and just pull that pink yarn through the green on the hook like so. Okay, and that's going to make the top of the next stitch pink. And the bottom of our next stitch we want to be green. So we're going to flip it under yet again, place our index finger in between the two, flip under so that the green is over the pink. Go into the next stitch, which is right here. Yarn over with green and pull that through. And now we have the top of the next stitch is pink, bottom is green. The last stitch is going to be all green, so we just can pull through with all green to finish that stitch up. Now we don't need pink until the next round. So when stitches are really far away from each other, all I do is I just cut it nice and short. We don't need it until the next round anyhow, so we'll just have to come back to it. And we'll finish our last stitch in green. Put our stitch marker over. That's going to be the end of round 4. We're already flying, guys. We're flying. All right, so we're on round 5. Round 5, as you can tell, is pretty much the same. Just single crochets in each stitch. Stitch 17 and 18, we have some color changes. Looks like we have an all pink for stitch 17 and a half green, half pink for stitch 18. If you end up crocheting this and really enjoying this color change chart, check out my other ones. Currently I have Frankenstein is all up on the website with the color change chart. I am still adding the vampire and witch. They will be added probably later today or later this week. Now I don't really need to count my stitches at all right now. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I'm just doing single crochets all the way around. And I'm not counting my stitches because I know that this pink one is stitch 17, and that's going to be where our first color change is. So I don't really need to do anything except for do single crochets until I get to that pink stitch. Then I'll have to pay attention again. And I just know that because stitch 17 and 18 are the color changes for this round. All right, so this is going to be stitch 16. Here we have 17 and 18. Now the next stitch is all pink. So we're going to do that same thing where we place the pink in between, we flip it under like that, and we yarn over with pink and pull through. And our next stitch is all pink, so we need the bottom to be pink too, so we can just go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through with pink, and then that's going to be the end of our next stitch. For our final stitch, stitch 18, we want the top half to be green, so we're going to flip under, yarn over with the green, and then pull through to finish that right there and make the top half of the next stitch green. And then the bottom half is going to be pink. So we just take this pink, flip it over, go into the next stitch, pull through with pink. Now the next stitch has green and then pink. So you're kind of seeing how this is going to work. Now for the next round, we're on round 6. It's going to be all green, so we can start with green, yarn over, and just pull through with our green yarn right there. Okay, now we don't need this pink again till later on in the pattern, so we can just cut it and put it to the side, and we can continue on. All right, so that was round 5. We'll check and mark it off. Now round 6, nice and easy, all single crochets, all in green. So I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna start going and single crocheting into each stitch in green, which is just so nice and easy. All right. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for watching this video. Obviously, I put a lot of time into these, so just people watching them in general means a lot, and it's just really cool. If you have any questions and you're watching this live, save them for the halftime show if you can, or ask them right now. We have some moderators in the chat. I can see. Hi, Mel. That should be able to help. The chat's having fun. Hello, Vanessa and Monty. All right. So here is the end of round 6. It's going to be the last stitch right here, all green. Put our stitch marker up. And now let's look at round 7 before we pull through to make sure. Okay. So round 7 is a little bit different. You can see these little notes at the top there. Sorry, I got distracted. Thank you so much, Kim. I saw the super chat. Thank you very much, Kim. I appreciate you. If you didn't see this video, this iPhone thing, you'll see. Actually, maybe it'll be still up. No. There's a little super chat thing that I added that I really wanted to test out, but we'll have to test it out later. Okay, so for the next round, you can see we have a few new stitches, or just one new stitch really, and then where to add the eyes. The first is the mini bobble stitch to add a nose. Now, I usually don't like adding a nose. Here you can see our little character. He doesn't have a nose. This is what the nose looks like, and here is a zombie with the nose. I mean, it's cute. So we're gonna add the nose just to make it a little easier. But you don't have to add the nose, obviously. And I'm just gonna do the nose so that it makes sense for the pattern itself. So our first 3 stitches are all just regular old single crochets. Stitch 2 has the eye in it, which we don't really need to worry about just yet. As you can see right here in this note, add it after round 7. I mean after round 10. Okay, so we'll do first 3 stitches are just regular old single crochets. Looks like all of our stitches are going to be in green for this round. So there's 1, 2, and 3 all in green. Our 4th stitch is going to be a mini bobble stitch. You can see just a little bit that it's got little dots like that. Stitch 4 over here is that. Okay, so a mini bobble stitch, this is how you do it. We're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, which is right here, yarn over a second time and pull through, and yarn over a third time and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. Okay, so it's kind of like you're starting a double crochet. We're going to repeat that process 3 times total for a mini bobble. For a regular bobble stitch, it'll be 4 times, but for a mini bobble, it's only 3 times. So there's our first repeat. Let's do it again. We yarn over, go into the same stitch that you worked into before, right here. Yarn over a second time and pull that through. Yarn over a third time and pull through 2 loops on the hook right there. Okay, so there's our second repeat. 1 more of those. We yarn over, we go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. There. Okay, to finish up the mini bobble stitch, we just need to yarn over and pull through all these loops on the hook. Just like that. Nice and simple. Okay, so the rest of these stitches for this round are all single crochets. You can tell because of the black borders. And we will be putting the eye into stitch number 6, but we don't need to worry about that just right now. So let's just go ahead and do all of our single crochets in this round. Easy, squeezy, lemon peasy. Oopsies, I almost did an increase there by accident. All right, cruising all the way to the end. And it looks like round 8 is going to be very easy as well, which will be nice. A couple rounds of easy single crochets. That's just the best. All right, so this is going to be the end of round 7 right here. Round 8, well, let's go ahead and check it off. There we go. Round 8 is going to be all single crochets, all in green. You can see right there. Now, really quick before we go into round 8, look at round 9. Round 9, we're going to be doing some fancy color changes to make a tattered shirt. But the first stitch of round 9 is brown. So keep note of that, because when you finish round 8, you want to pull through with brown to be ready for round 9. We'll come to this again at the end of this round. But let's go ahead and do round 8 first. All green single crochets, nice and easy. Now's a great chance for me to say, if you like this video and you want to see a bunch more patterns just like it, please consider getting a Club Crochet membership. Membership gets you early access to future videos and patterns in my Club Crochet library, gets you access to a bunch of exclusive patterns, just like Frankenstein there, the Witch. Almost all those are exclusive membership patterns. Memberships start at only $5 a month, and they can even you can even get kits mailed to your door with all the materials that you need to make whatever we're making that month. So this month's kit is for a hanging bat. I actually have one right here. Here he is. He's got his kind of opening up already. You can make him asleep or awake, and there's a little magnet in the bum so that he connects to anything that is metal. So this month's kit was for 2 of those, so you can make like a gray one and a purple one. And we're actually going to be doing the live stream crochet along for that bat next week. Okay, so we're at the end of round 8. Oh yeah, and if you want to consider becoming a member, all you have to do is go to clubcrochet.com and you can upgrade your membership there. Okay, so we're on round 9. Let's go ahead and check off round 8. For round 9, you can see there are a lot of color changes going on in round... I'm getting distracted by the chat. I gotta stop looking at it. For round 9, you can see there's a lot of different color changes. So we're just gonna take it stitch by stitch, nice and easy for round 9. As you can see, for the first 2 stitches, they are all brown. So we're going to switch over to our brown yarn and pull through to technically finish round 8. There you go. Get our stitch marker over there. Now, it's all single crochets. You can tell because they're all black borders. Also, it says single crochet in each stitch above it. But all single crochets, all we have to focus on are the color changes. So 2 single crochets in all brown. Let's start with that. I'm just going to carry the green yarn with me for this round. I'll show you different ways so you can do different stuff after in the halftime show for, well, I might show you in this. Ignore what I just said. Okay, so the first 2 stitches were all brown. There we go. We've finished those first 2 stitches. The third stitch is all green. So we flip under, change to green, and pull through with green. And we're going to do an all green stitch, so you can go into the stitch and pull through with green. Okay, so that's the third stitch done. The fourth stitch, the top is brown and the bottom is green. So we flip under, we pull through with brown. Okay, so pull through that last stitch with brown. Now that'll make the top of the next one brown. Now the bottom is green, so we flip back under, go into the next stitch, and pull through with green. And then we can switch back over to brown. The reason I'm switching back to brown is because the next 2 stitches, stitches 5 and 6, are going to be all brown. So 2 in all brown. That's nice and easy. 1, and here is 2. I count that as 2, so that's the end of 2. For stitch 7, the top is green, so we flip under and pull through with green. And the bottom is brown, so we switch back over to brown, go into the next, and pull through with brown. And we can just go ahead and pull that through because the next 4 stitches, stitches 8, 9, 10, and 11, are all going to be brown. So 4 brown stitches in a row. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and single crochet around this for these 4 stitches. But normally I would move my yarn to the side and not crochet around it to avoid bleed through of the green yarn. See how you can see the green yarn through that brown yarn just a little bit there? If I were to just skip and not crochet around it, it might make that a little bit a little bit cleaner, but because this shirt is tattered anyhow, it doesn't really matter that much, and it's just a little bit easier. Okay, so we are on stitch, we're on stitch 12. So for stitch 12, the top is green and the bottom is brown. So we're gonna flip over, yarn over with green, and pull through the 2 loops there with green. And then the bottom is brown, so we switch back over to brown, go into the next stitch right here, pull through with brown. Stitch 13, all brown, so we could just pull through, and in the next stitch the bottom is brown too, so we can pull through with that. Stitch 14, the top is brown, bottom is green, pull through with brown, and do the bottom in green, so we switch over to green, go into the next stitch, pull through with green. Okay, stitches 15 and 16, all brown. Switch back over to brown, pull through. We're doing 2 stitches all brown, so there's 1 and 2. Stitch 17 is all green. Switch back over to green, pull through with green. And it's an all green stitch, so we can pull through the next bottom part with green. And then the last one right there is all brown for stitch 18. There you go. Now, honestly, I think that the explanation of these crazy color change chart rounds is a lot more complicated when spoken out loud than it is by just reading the pattern. Personally, that's my opinion. You'll see it later on. Well, let's go ahead and mark round 9 done so we don't lose our track. But you see later on, if I scroll down here, here is the color chart alone. And this is what we're going to get to in the second half of this video. But you can see all of the rounds are counted up from the bottom to the top, and they go in, oh man, sorry, there we go. So you can see that they just go in order. We just finished round 9 there. But yeah, this is just so you can read it. I think this is the quickest, easiest way to do the pattern. Once you know how to read this color change chart, I can just like power through this in like 15 minutes now. It's crazy just by using this chart. Okay. Let's close that. All right. So I think we were on round 10. Yeah, there we go. Before we start round 10, you can see my yarn is a little bit twisted up there. That's really easy to fix. I'm just gonna pull my loop out a bit, take my crochet hook, put it to the side, and then I like grabbing both these ends of yarn, and I can just hold it up and my piece just spins around and untangles everything. Okay. So for the next round, we are on round 10. We're going to be doing a bobble stitch in the first stitch, single crochet 7, another bobble stitch, and then single crochet 9. And here you can see the color change chart that will assist us here. You can see that stitch 1 and 9 are the bobble stitch ones. You can tell because of the border of the stitch, and they are all in green. So the first stitch is an all green bobble stitch. I already pulled through with brown here. This is a pro tip. You don't need to do that, but I find for the bobble stitches, I like to pull through with a different color than what the bobble stitch actually is, because it makes the top of the hand a different color. So you can kind of see it here. I didn't do that for these stitches, and I did do it for these stitches. So this is just like a little pro tip. See this right there? Just that little bit. That's because I pulled through with green before starting the bobble stitch on this guy, and it's not there for this one. Okay, because I pulled through with brown before I started the bobble stitch. Just a little tip. It's kind of hard to explain in the pattern, so I actually don't explain that much. Here you can see it on the foot as well. It's a little bit more noticeable. There's where I pulled through with green. You can tell it's not there because I didn't pull through with it. Yeah. Okay, so put those to the side. There's a little pro tip. And our next stitch is a bobble stitch in all green. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically do what we did for the mini bobble, but we're going to do 4 repeats instead of 3. So all we have to do is we're going to do yarn over with green, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through with green, then yarn over and pull through 2. So there's 1. We want to do that 4 times in a row. Yarn over, into the stitch with green, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2. There's 2. Here is going to be 3. And I'm really sorry if you're watching this live stream and you're like, I'm not even crocheting this zombie. I don't care. I promise it'll be more fun for the second half for you than it is the first half maybe. This is the last repeat. We're yarning over, going into the stitch, yarning over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2. So that's going to be a finished bobble stitch. You can see there should be 5 loops on the hook for a regular bobble stitch. And to finish the bobble stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull through, but we need to look at what the next color is. So stitch 2 for round 10 is all brown. So we switch over to brown, yarn over with brown, and pull through all the loops with brown. There we go. Okay, so stitch 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this round are all brown, regular old single crochets. So we're just gonna do 4 stitches in brown. So there's 1, 2, 3, and here is our 4th one right there. So we got 4 stitches in all brown. Stitch 6 is going to be the top green and the bottom brown. So we're going to switch over, yarn over with green, and pull through with green so that the top half is green and the bottom is brown. So we're going to switch back over so that brown is on top. Go into the next stitch right here, pull through with brown, and then the next stitch is all green for our 7th stitch. So we switch back over to green, yarn over, pull through, and do all of the next stitch in green. There we go. Okay. Oops. So here's where I screwed up. I just pulled through with green, but that is actually not the case because stitch 7 was all green, which is technically right there. Stitch 8 is all brown. So we want to switch back over to brown, pull through, and do a single crochet in the next one, all brown. Okay, now the next stitch is another green bobble stitch. So like I was saying, that pro tip before, I'm actually going to pull through with brown instead, and then do our next stitch in all green. So we're going to do another bobble stitch. I'll go a little bit quicker this time. Yarn over into the stitch, pull 1 through, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to repeat that 4 times in a row. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, there is our bobble stitch. Now our next 2 stitches are all in brown. The rest of our stitches are all going to be single crochet, so we don't have to worry about doing any bobble stitches anymore for this round. We switch over, yarn over with brown, and pull through all the loops on our hook with brown. Okay, so we do 2 single crochets in all brown. There's 1 and 2. Stitch 12 and 13, both are the top being brown, so we can pull through with brown, and the bottom is green. So we go into the next stitch, we flip over so green's on top, into the next stitch, yarn over with green and pull through, and that'll be a half brown, half green. Now let's do another one of those. So we switch back over to brown, pull through, and then switch back over to green, go into the next stitch, pull through with green, and then the rest of our single crochets in this round, 5 more single crochets, all in brown. Okay, so we can just do 5 more single crochets in all brown. I'm gonna go ahead and just do our first single crochet in all brown around this green yarn. I know I'm gonna need some green yarn for the face, so I'm gonna cut the green yarn now, since it's gonna be a few stitches till I have to come back to green anyhow. I'm just gonna pull that green out. That'll untangle it for us too. And I'll just finish our single crochets in all brown to get to this, just to the end of the round. And there we go. I can tell that's the end of the round even though our stitch marker is not with us right now because the bobble stitch was our first stitch in the next round. So that's a good stitch marker for me now so I can tell where the end of the round is. I'm just going to pull this loop out a little bit because we're going to stop crocheting for just a second because we need to add the face. I'm just going to pull out our stitch marker because we don't really need it anymore now that we have the bobble stitch as our stitch marker. Okay. Alright, so you can see how our little piece is coming together there. I don't know why we have some pink right there. Whatever. It kind of looks funny. There's a little bit of brain sticking out. Okay, so... alright. Yes, the zombie is almost done. Sorry, reading the chat again. Gotta avoid the chat. Because it gets me distracted. You guys are... Alright. Alright. So I'm going to start by actually cutting a little bit off of this green yarn. Because we're going to need it in a second. Oops. I dropped my green yarn. There we go. Okay. So let's start by adding our eyes. What's kind of cool in this this here is we can mark off round 10 done. We're on our face. I actually have GIFs. I don't know why it's not playing. Oh, there it goes. I actually have GIFs showing exactly how to add the eyes in this website. But obviously I'll be showing you again in this video. Okay. So we need our needle for our eyes. Let's grab 2 of our eyes. We're going to grab the more solid ones. You can see these ones are a little scratchy, which is fine. We'll use those for the second half. But for the first half, I just want to use the regular ones. Just pop them out. I'll put that to the side. And what I do is I take my needle and we can look at our round here. Round 7 is where we're going to need to do it. And round 7 is the same round where we did this little mini bobble stitch here. And the eyes go into the center of stitch 2 and stitch 6. So here is stitch 2. Okay, so if this is stitch 1, if you can follow it up to the bobble stitch to find the end there. That's stitch 1. This is stitch 2. Now this eye goes into the center of that stitch, which means that we want to take our needle and actually go straight in between the center, right like that. Just right in the center of that eye. Or of that stitch. Not in between any stitches there. And then I take it till this whole part of the needle goes to the right into the center there, and I just twist it a little bit, which is going to leave just a little bit of space for us to fit that eye in there. Okay, see how it's like just got a little bit of a gap now? Now I take my eye and I'll just place it into that gap, and I just kind of wiggle it in. I can feel it come through on the other side. Here you can see it poking on through. We'll just go ahead and push it through like that. That's just where I have found is the best place to place the eyes, is in the center of those stitches. Okay, so there's our first one. The next one is going to be in stitch 6. It's going to be 2 stitches away from this little nose. So if that was stitch 2, 1, 2, this will be 3, 4 will be this big bobble stitch, 5, and then 6 is going to be right here. So again, right into the center of that, just like that. We'll go ahead and get to the end and twist it, twist it, twist it to leave a little bit of a gap. Take our eye, go right into that gap. You can see it coming through on the other side. There we go. Okay, so we got our eyes on there now. Now we can go ahead and use these little locking things to lock them on the inside. So I just take this end, place it on the back, and then just pop it on there. All right, here's the second bit right there. Pop it on there. Okay. All right. So we got our eyes on now. Now we want to add, scroll back down here. Next we want to add the bags of the eyes and the mouth. So we'll start with the bags of our eye. Take the yarn and thread it onto a needle. And I go into the, I like going into this eye right here. Technically this is left eye. And I just go through the one side of the eye right here. And then thread on the other side of the needle. Or the yarn rather. And then I go through the other side of the eye right here. Like that. And I want to pull it a little bit tighter so that it's on the bottom of the eye, just like that. But it creates a little bag of the eye. It makes him look a little bit crazy, which is perfect for our zombie. We can just take the inside here and just double knot these two ends. And that'll keep our little bag in place. That's what we're calling that eye lid. Baggy eyes. Try not to tie it too tight, but that should be fine. Okay, we'll put that to the side. We need this green for one more part of this face, but not until we add our teeth. So first we need to add the jaw with the teeth. So we need just a little bit of white yarn. And I have a very specific way that I embroider the teeth on. Take it, put it on the needle here. And we're going to come up through right under where the right eye is. Right like that. And we're going to go slightly over and go into the center. Sorry, let me get a better vantage point here. Into the center of the stitch right next to it. So this is where it comes out. I want to go back in through the center of the next stitch right to the right of it, which will create just a little itty bitty tooth. Boop. See? Just a little tooth. And then come back out through the same spot that we started in the stitch next to it right there. And we want to put another itty bitty tooth to the left. So we're going to go into the center of the next stitch over right here. Okay. And then, I know I'm like spinning the piece around so much. And then finally we're going to go in through, out through just the left of where that tooth is. We're going to add one more tooth. And go back down through the center of that one right here. So I'll add 3 little teeth like that. And we can double knot these on the inside. 1, 2. And cut the yarn nice and close. Okay. And thread on the green yarn again. Now we want to add just a lower lip to that tooth, so it looks like he's got like an open, like his jaw's hanging out a little bit. So we're just going to go up through the left side of where the teeth are embroidered on, and then go down through the right side of where the teeth are embroidered on, right like that. And we want to make sure it's like hanging up open like that a little bit. There we go. We got a little lower jaw. So now we can just double knot these on the inside to finish it up. 1 and 2. All right. Our face is all sewn on. Cut the ends there. Place this to the side. All right. Okay, so now we have made our face. We can move on to round 11, where you can see we have a lot of different color changes. This is probably the trickiest round for color changes, so please bear with me. All right, so we're going to start and get our brown yarn there, and we're going to grab a hold of the rest of our yarn colors. We'll need our green, our brown, and our pink for this round. So I'm just going to get prepared and grab all of our colors right away. Just like that. Okay, So our first stitch is all in brown, so we can go into the next stitch. The next stitch is into the top of this bobble stitch right here. Just like that. We're not going to finish by pulling through with brown just yet because the next stitch is, the top is blue and the bottom is brown for stitch 2 and 3 in round 11. So we're going to take our blue yarn, place it in between, hold it down with the index finger and flip it under, and then yarn over it with blue and pull it through the two to make so the top is blue. And we want the bottom to be brown. So we're going to switch back over so brown is on top and go into the next stitch, pull through with brown, and we want to do that one more time. So we switch back over to blue, yarn over with blue, and pull through. And then we want the bottom to be brown in the next stitch, so we switch back over to brown, go into the next stitch right here, and pull through with brown. Okay, so we have our two blue browns, and then now we want our next stitches. We have two where the top is green and the bottom is brown, so we're going to place our green in between, and we're going to switch over to green. So I'm going to place my green over all of these loops right there and flip it under all of them like that, and then yarn over with green and pull through with green. And once I pull through, I'm going to tighten this stitch a little bit. All right, so the next two are top green, bottom brown. So we have our top green pulled through already. Now we want brown, so we switch back over to brown, go into the next stitch and pull through with brown. And we're going to do that again. Switch back over to green. So the top is green, pull through with green, and then switch back over to brown, go into the next stitch and pull through with brown. And then our stitch 6 is going to be all green. So we switch back over to green, pull through with green. And the whole stitch is green, so we can go into the next stitch with green and pull it through. Now stitches 7 and 8, we're introducing another color here. I know, there's so many colors in this round, but these are the last two with blue and pink together. So we don't need to do much color changes after this. So grab your pink yarn and place it in between all the yarn here with the green and everything, right like that. And we're gonna flip under so that pink goes under all those strands. We're gonna yarn, or I mean not pink, I'm sorry, I'm doing that wrong. We wanna keep the pink in between. We want the blue to be on top. So we're gonna flip under so blue is on top of everything. Yarn over with blue and pull through the loops with blue. And I'm gonna pull my green a little bit tighter now. Okay, so now this next stitch, we want the bottom to be pink and the top to be blue. So we're gonna go flip the pink under because we already pulled the blue through. Go into the next stitch, pull the pink through, and we wanna do that twice. So we can pull through with blue now. Okay, switch back over to pink, go into the next stitch and pull through with pink. And then our next two stitches are all brown, so we can take our brown yarn, separate it from the other ones like that, and flip it under, yarn over with brown, and pull through those loops with brown. I'm going to go ahead and pull all our loops a little bit tighter. And our next stitch is all brown, single crochet, so we're going to go into the next one and single crochet in all brown there. I'm just going to crochet around all of our ends, and sorry. And I'm going to cut our ends right here like that because we don't need the blue or the pink until the next round. We won't need the pink at all anymore, so we can actually just be straight up done with pink. Throw that to the side. The blue will come back to at the end of the round, so we can pull that out, leave it to the side. And then the brown and green we still need for this round. Okay, so we have two stitches in all brown. We did our first one right there. Our second one is going to be in all brown single crochet right here. One in all brown. Our stitch 11, the top is going to be green, so we're going to flip over so that green's on top. Yarn over with green and pull through with our green yarn. Okay, And the bottom is going to be brown, so we're going to switch back over to brown, go into the next stitch and pull through with brown. Stitches 12 and 13 are all brown, so we can pull through with brown, do a single crochet with brown, and our second one is all brown. There's our second one. Stitch 14, the top is brown and the bottom is green, so we want to pull through with brown, switch over to green, and go into the next stitch and pull through with green. Stitches 15 and 16 are all brown, so we can switch over to brown and pull through. Here is 1, and here is 2. And then stitch 17 and 18, the top are going to be green, so we can pull through with green, and the bottom is going to be brown, so we switch back over to brown and pull through with brown, switch to green because there's 2 stitches where the top is green, and there is the second one. Okay, that's going to be the end of round 11. We can mark it off there. And now we are in round 12. And you can see we have some fancy footwork going on in round 12 because we're going to be working into the back loop of some of these stitches too. Okay, so we're going to need our green still. We don't need our brown anymore, but we can hold on to it just for a second. Our next round is mostly blue, so we need our blue yarn. We'll place it under in between the 2 here, and we're going to switch to blue and pull through those loops with blue. And I'm just going to pull these a little tighter to make sure everything's locked in place. For our first stitch, it's all a single crochet in round 12, all in blue for our first 2 stitches. So we're just going to go into the next 2 stitches all in blue and do single crochet. I'm going to work around our brown and our green for the first stitch. I'm going to cut the brown yarn because we don't need it anymore. And we're actually just going to pull it to the side. We'll need a little bit more for our head, for the hair on the head, but we won't need any more than that. But we do need the green still for our feet. So we got 2 stitches in blue. So there's 1, and here is 2. Now our next stitch is another bobble stitch. And like I did before with the arms, we're going to pull through with blue even though the stitch is all green, because we want the top to be blue. Again, not necessary, just a little pro tip that I like to do. Okay, so the next stitch is a bobble stitch, just like how we did the arms, but notice the little brackets under the bobble stitch there. You can also see in the written round here, you can see the little underlined bobble stitches. That means that they're going to be worked into the back loop only, which means it's the furthest loop from the hook. So if you look at the top here, pull our stitches to the side. This is the back loop, okay? This would be under both loops. It might be easier to see on this green stitch. So if you look at this green stitch, that's the back loop, and that would be both loops. So we only want to work into the back loop for our next stitch, all in green bobble stitch, okay? So it's going to be right here. Okay, so we take our yarn, and we're going to do a bobble stitch into the next stitch. So for a bobble stitch, we're going to yarn over with our new yarn, green, go into that back loop only, yarn over and pull through with green, and then yarn over and pull through 2 with green. Okay, we're going to do that 4 times. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can see that hole's getting pretty big there. Don't worry about that too much. It's just inevitable. All right, so next we can change back to blue. So we switch back over to blue, yarn over, and pull through all those loops with blue. Okay, so that was our back loop bobble. Now the next 4 stitches are all in blue. So I do see the chat really quick, Isabel. I will answer all our questions in the second half of this video. But yes, I can see the chat a little bit. So our next 4 stitches are all in blue, and they're all single crochets, and they're all worked into both loops. You can tell because they're not underlined, and they don't have those little brackets under the stitches. So 4 stitches, all in blue. So there's 1, 2. I'm just going to be working around our green for these 4. 3. And here is 4. I'm going to go ahead and pull through with blue for that little pro tip thing for the bobble stitches. And our next stitch is going to be another green bobble stitch worked into the back loop only. Okay, so we're going to yarn over with green, go into the next stitch right here, into the back loop only, and do a bobble stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2. Oopsies. There we go. And we're going to do that 4 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1 more, and 4. All right. Now we can switch back over to blue and pull through our loops of blue there. And now the rest of our stitches in this round are going to be all blue, and it's all single crochet, so we don't need to worry about too much anymore. We can work into both loops. Here's our next stitch right there. It's the brown one, and we're going to just do a single crochet into that. I like going around our green for this last bit right there, just to lock it into place. But we are actually done with our green yarn, so we can cut it and get rid of it. Look at how much green I had left. Just a little bitty itty bit. Okay. All right, so the rest is just single crochets. Actually, the rest of this pattern is actually all in blue. So we're going to start by doing all of our just single crochets in blue. We're actually coming to the end of our piece here. So let's just go ahead and finish up all these single crochets all in blue till we get to the end of this round. And there we go. I can just pull through with blue because I know that the rest of this pattern is blue anyhow. You can see our little fella there, a little grumpy buddy. All right, so we can check off round 12. We're on round 13. For round 13, you can see we have a brand new stitch to look at. Yes, Caitlin's Creative Corner asks, how long until this next half? We are almost done, actually, so only a few more minutes. Okay, so round 13, our first is a single crochet stitch. That's easy. We'll just go ahead and do that really quick. Our second is a decrease, and you can see that there's little brackets around the stitch there. That means that it is a decrease stitch. So yeah, let me just show you what that is. So you can see that stitch 1 is a single crochet, stitch 2 is going to be that bracketed decrease, and then 3, blah, blah, blah. We're going to keep alternating between single crochets and decrease. Now, when I say decrease, I mean a sharp decrease. For that, we're going to go into the next stitch and yarn over and pull through like we were going to do a regular single crochet. And then we want to go into the next stitch right here. Here's our next stitch, and yarn over and pull another loop through that other stitch, and take that second loop that you pulled through and pull it through the 2 on the hook to make a decrease. So we're going to repeat that all the way around. So 1 single crochet and then 1 decrease, all in blue. Let's do another single crochet. There's our single crochet, and then a decrease. So we go 1, and then into the next one, 2, and take that 2 and pull it through. So there's our second repeat. Let's do another one, single crochet, and then sharp decrease. Oopsies. Make sure to get under both loops. 1, next stitch right here, and 2, and then pull that second one through the 2 on the hook. All right, just a few more here. Single crochet, sharp decrease, and this is going to bring you down from 18 stitches to 12 stitches. So we should have 12 stitches by the end of this round. Here's our last repeat, single crochet, and then our sharp decrease, 1 and 2. And pull that sharp one through. Okay, I'm going to pull that out just a little bit because I want to add just a few more features before we stuff it and sew it closed. The first thing I want to add is a little rib. So I'm going to take a little bit of our white yarn here. This is just the leftovers from making the tooth. And I'm going to go under these 2 pink stitches right here like that. I mean over the 2 pink stitches. Right at the top of where that little V for the pink stitch is. And then I'm gonna go straight over to the next pink stitch right here. Like that. I'm just giving him a little rib that's sticking out. Just a little additional detail. And we're just gonna double knot those on the inside. All right, double knot there. And we can cut it and just place that to the side. Actually, let's use it to stuff it. So we need some stuffing anyhow. I'm gonna take all our extra little odds and ends here and start by stuffing it with that. Okay, now we need a little bit extra stuffing. Just grab some stuffing. Hello, Tamia. Thank you so much for enjoying the channel. How long have I been crocheting? A long time. I'll be answering more since in the second half of the video, but yes, since high school. Okay, so I'm just gonna stuff it pretty full right now. Okay, so that's more stuffing than I normally would right here, but you know, let's just get it done with. Now, this is the chance that you would want to switch to making a finger puppets. This is my most recent video, how to crochet finger puppets, but this is where you would want to stop and switch over to that. In the second half of this video, I'll be making a finger puppet. I won't be explaining how to crochet that finger puppet. I'm just going to be doing it. But there is a video tutorial if you just go to that link, clubcrochet.com/puppet. All right, so let's go ahead and mark that round off because we're done with it. We embroidered the rib, and now is our last round. Yippee! All we have to do for this last round is do a decrease into each stitch all the way around. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We're gonna go into the next stitch right here, pull a loop through, and then into the next stitch, pull a second loop through, and then through the 2 on the hook. So just that sharp decrease again. We're gonna do 6 of those. So there's 1. Here is 2. You can see I kind of like pinch my piece like that to make it easier for me to get into the stitches. Here is gonna be 3. There we go, 4. Here is our 5th. And then finally one more right here. It's going to be our 6th. There's 1, 2, and pull through. Okay, to finish this up, we're going to cut our end and pull that through. This would be a good chance to stuff it up a little bit more if you want him stuffed any more than this. I actually am pretty happy with how much stuffing is in there, so I'm just going to leave him as is because he's nice and squishy. He's a squishy zombie. He needs more brains to fill him up. And we could just put this end on a needle and sew it closed. I'll just go ahead and sew it closed really quick. But yeah, so I like counting up 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, going through the top and then out through the stitch across. And I basically just do a little embroidery thing, or a little asterisk. So I go in through the next stitch over and across. I pull that first one tight. I have a whole video where I explain this in a little bit more detail. If you want to learn how to sew closed, you can find it by just going to clubcrochet.com/sewing-closed. All right, that's going to be the end right there. And we can go up through the body, really about anywhere, that's probably fine. And then back down and through the base of your piece right there. That should keep a little knot. Now the last thing, we can just cut this nice and short. Let's mark it done on our phone just because I got OCD and I need to make sure all of the check marks are done. The last thing, which I actually just realized is not in the written pattern right now, but I'll add it after this video, is that we want to add some hair. Which is actually really easy. All you have to do is take your brown yarn and thread it on a needle. And I just go through the sides of the head. You can knot this on the inside before you sew it closed if you want to like really make sure that the hair doesn't come loose. But I've made these so many times and I've never had the hair really come out. So I haven't had a problem with it, but if you're really worried about it and want to knot it on the inside, you might want to do that. But what I do is I just go through stitches and I just go across to the next side and pull through. And let's go with like, that's probably fine. And then I cut it nice and short and then nice and short like that. And then I just touch the things and it comes unthreaded just like that. And that's how I do the hair. And again, if you want to make sure that it doesn't come loose, because it's technically loose on the inside, if you want to make sure, go ahead and do a knot and then pull that through, and then the knot will keep it in on the inside. But I'll just keep going and go almost all the way and cut. And I'm just going to add a few little threads of hair because this guy doesn't need too much hair anyhow, because he is dead, so it doesn't really matter. Right there. Let's do couple more back on the back of his head right here, just like that. Okay, there we go. We got our little zombie. How cute. All right. I love this guy. All right, so quick before we get to the halftime show, I can go ahead and close my phone. The second half of this video, I'm going to be doing it just based on this color change chart. So you can see how quickly and how easily I can make that using this color change chart. This is actually a downloadable PDF. If you download the PDF, it has check marks for every single square. So I'm just going to click download the PDF. I would have to open this in a different application. Actually, let's go ahead and just do that really quick, just so I can show you. I always open it in Books. And if you open it in Books, eventually it'll... There we go. If you open it in your Books here, all these, not only are all of these check marks, but also every single square is a check mark too. So you can actually just mark off all the stitches. It makes it really easy, and that includes this last one. Every one of these squares, oopsies, every one of these squares is a check mark. So it makes things really easy. This is only available with a membership, so if you have a membership account, you should have access to this PDF. All right, well, let's close my phone because we don't need that anymore. Hello again. And thank you so much for watching. Please like the video down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you want to, if you were watching live or if you just want to continue watching, stick around. We have a lot more after the break, but before we get to that break, oh, and if you want more Halloween patterns, just like all these little Frankenstein and stuff like that, here's a little ghost. Mummy, that's coming soon. The witch, I love the witch. And a little werewolf. Little vampire, and this is a little swamp monster. He's not added to the site yet, but I'm working on it. These are all available by just going to clubcrochet.com/Halloween. Okay, so before I get to the second half of this video, I have a really cool finger puppet show that I'm really proud of. I hope you like it. I call it Frankie's Feast. It's this little poem that I wrote with my cousin, and we turned it into a finger puppet show, and yeah, I think it's really cool. I hope you really enjoy it. I'll see you. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes after the finger puppet show is done. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be in the chat while yeah, you get the gist. I'll stop talking and just skip right to the halftime show. Let me start by making the background audio gone, and here we go. We all know what happens on All Hallows Eve, but I have a story for you would not believe. The day after Halloween, our story begins. No more candy or costumes or carved up pumpkins. The doc needed a vacation. He was going to Rome, leaving poor little Frankie at home,
all alone. Doc knew the worst thing he could have on his hands was a hungry green monster making violent demands. So the pantry was stocked. It was filled to the brim. There was no need to worry, there was plenty for him. Alas, the first day, he ate it all up. There was not a trace left, not even a cup. A still rumbling stomach was all he could feel, so Frankie went out in search of a meal. At the first sight of Frankie, the villagers screamed. Their torches were lit, their pitchforks all gleamed. Off in the distance, in an old cemetery, was a lone little zombie. His name was Gary. Gary saw Frankie being chased down the street and wanted to help, so he got his 2 feet. He stumbled on down as quick as he could and coaxed Frankie away off the road to the woods. There they were hidden, and Gary could see that Frankie was starving with an empty belly. This was his chance. He could finally cook. There was only one problem. He needed a book. See, when he was alive, Gary was a great chef, but his brains were all eaten. There was nothing left. Just then, in the distance, they heard a harsh cackle. It was one of 2 things, a witch or a jackal. Gary got an idea, which was rare, indeed. Witches have books, which is just what I need. So they left in a hurry, though they somewhat just stumbled, as Frankie's poor stomach continued to rumble. There on the corner of Toil and Bubble lived Clara the Witch, who was known to be trouble. "What is it?" yelled Clara as she opened the door. Right behind her were laying some books on the floor. Gary quickly explained, "We need recipes. Just this one time to help Frankie. Pretty please." "I think I can help his hunger and thirst. We just need to find the ingredients first." "I know just the guy," said drooling Green Gary, but just be forewarned, he is kinda hairy. So they went rather quickly to meet Gary's friend. They had to go far to the forest's dark end. Gnawing a bone under the bright moonlight was Rufus the werewolf, out for a bite. Rufus explained they had nothing to fear, for earlier that night he had caught a huge deer. "That's just what I need," said Gary with glee. Ingredients in hand, they started to flee. Back at Frankie's home with the werewolf's fresh game, the witch had her pot and conjured a flame. Gary worked quickly to make his creation, as the doc headed home early from vacation. Frankie was restless and wanted to eat, so Gary worked fast and promised him meat. Just as Gary completed his work, each placemat was set with a knife, spoon, and fork. Supper was ready. They all took their place. Then the door opened, right during grace. "What are you doing? Why are you here?" Frankie was hungry. He wanted some deer. Never before had Doc seen such a feast, especially one from a cook who's deceased. Doc joined them for dinner, and it could be said, "We can all work together, spooky, scary, or dead."
Boo! All right, so this is the behind the scenes of our Frankie video, and here you can see the set. There we can see a little Frankie and a little Gary popping up. It's just a light box, and the cool thing is all the backdrops are stacked up against each other, so I can just remove one backdrop and the next backdrop shows up. And our actors are down there. And the sets are all on these little, I don't know, I guess packages. And I can just pull them in and out. And I've got like a tree set, and there's the pantry, and yeah, and there's a bunch of sticks with little characters on it. But yeah, that's the set for this, and you can see my incredibly messy craft room. Bye! Okie dokie. Boom. Hey guys, what do you think of my puppet show? It was pretty cool, right? I'm pretty proud of it. And yeah, I just think it's so cool. I'm just so proud of how it turned out. I'm trying to open up my pattern right now. There we go. I'm moving it to my books. And now we are back to the regular old live stream stuff where I actually get to talk with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the pattern and the little puppet show. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this crazy detailed live stream. I know it's very there's a lot happening, and I'm sorry about that. In the second half, it's going to be a lot more lax. I am going to be using the just the pure color chart that I made instead of reading the pattern and all that other stuff. I'm just using the color chart, and I'll be able to read the chat simultaneously. I'm so glad you guys liked it. I obviously have spent a long time doing it, and I actually have another one that I wrote, so I need to work on that one too. It's about an orc and a pig that become friends. Yeah, super wholesome, super cute, and yeah, I just love it. Okay, so let's get going into the second half of this video. I'm just going to be using the color chart here, and you can actually see the color chart. This is what I'm using. I have it open on my PDF or on my iPad, but it's just really easy little color chart. Let's get this back to its right location. I don't need to make the eyes again, so whatever. And also, I don't really need to talk too much about how to crochet this anymore, since I just did that full pattern. But if you do have any questions, yeah, where is it? There we go. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to help out as much as possible. Yes, it's the name of the other poem or whatever finger puppet show is called The Orc and the Pork. That's the name of it. It starts with since time could remember since time could remember or wizard recall, pigs and orcs were both enemies, no matter how tall. That's how it begins. It's very cute. I actually wrote that one before I wrote the Halloween one. Okay, let's get back into it here. Okay. How is your guys' Sunday? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Also, if you do want to help support this channel, other than becoming a membership, getting a membership, we also have merch available for purchase on the website. You can find it down below. I got stickers and a bunch of kits. There's patterns. I have to still add t-shirts. And also you can super chat. This is a new 2, 3, 4, 5. I made it. I made the live stream a little bit cooler, where now if you super chat, it'll be, see that little space right there? Your super chat will be right there. I thought it was kind of cool. I was up till like 4 a.m. working on getting this live stream set up with the phone and everything like that. Obviously, it worked out, which was I'm very glad. But I don't know if I'll do a video like this again. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm not sure how many people actually crocheted along with me for the pattern. Maybe I should split it up into a pattern for the first half and then a live stream for the second half, but like split them up into different videos. I don't know. Thank you so much, Ying. That's very nice of you. Thank you. And special thank you to Sarah and Melbell for being in the chat as moderators. They help out a bunch answering questions and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like flying through the pattern now. This is what's so great, is once you know how to use this color chart, it's so easy. It's like simple as a pimple. I have them made for most of these Halloween characters, but it takes a lot for me to move it from me making this color chart to moving it actually to the website. There's just a lot of different things that get included. And we'll try to make this zombie into a finger puppet. I have a serious horde of zombies now though, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I'll probably give them to a bunch of family or friends or whatever. And then we get to chill with Louie. That zombie looks lit. It is lit. This is what we just made in the first half. I'm doing a finger puppet in the second half. Alright, so I'm on round 3. This is the one where I have to make sure. Oh, don't know if you are into Harry Potter, but I was wondering if you can make a Niffler tutorial. I am very much into Harry Potter. I'm gonna be honest, I don't expect a Niffler pattern from the site anytime soon. The reason is because, well, a couple things. One, I'm afraid of cease and desists from Warner Brothers. They like to throw those things around pretty often. So I'll try to avoid that also. Before I do that Niffler pattern, what's going to happen is I'm going to do a Harry Potter series because I already have them. And now that I have this new color change chart that makes things a lot easier, I can make those Harry Potter patterns a lot easier. So I have Harry and Ron and yeah, all those guys to make them into these little pod people. I've got a bunch of different series I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to make a series where it's like how to crochet your own pod person, so you can make yourself or your friend or whatever. And then the other thing I'm working on is how to make your own color chart. So that you can make these color charts yourself. I'm trying to build them into little templates and a little tutorial series for how to do it. And then I'm thinking it'd be really cool to have it on the site. So if you make your own, color chart, you can just put it right onto the website so that anybody can use these little color charts and make their own little characters. I don't know. I kind of want to just make it more of like a community aspect to the website by adding things like that, community contributions and stuff like that. Yes, Melbell's right. I made several. I actually literally just put them away. Let me grab them after this round so I can show you guys the Harry Potter guys. Yes, Monty. It will be out eventually. Yeah, I just need to, because there are so many, obviously there's going to be so many different things that you need to keep track of. Like, here's how to do this kind of hair, and here's how to do glasses, and here's how to, if you want to make yourself a suit, here's how to do that. Or if you want to give yourself a dress, here's how to add a dress to your thing. So there's a lot of different aspects to think about, but I think it would be very cool, and I think people would be really into it. Let me show you the Harry Potter characters real quick. Where did I put them? Maybe I won't, because maybe I don't know where they're at. Oh, okay. All I have right now is Harry, because I couldn't. The rest are in this big pile of people, and I don't know where they are. So here's Harry. There you go. Haha, you're funny, Mel. Hey, I don't want to be that person, but your brain is showing. Look at his little brain. But his brains were all eaten. There was nothing left. Hey, my favorite part of Hagrid is somewhere. He's in there somewhere, or he might have been purchased. I don't really know, because I do sell everything in that little box sometimes. So, but I have it all written down somewhere, so I can remake it. What was it? Oh, my favorite part of that that finger puppet show is where I go, and he when Gary wants to help Frankie out, and he goes, and he wanted to help, so he got his 2 feet. I love that line. I'm so proud of that line. Instead of he got to his feet, he got his 2 feet. I don't know. I remember writing it and being like, oh, that's clever. They are organs. They are organs. All right. So now you can see how quickly this pattern works up. I mean, I'm already like on round 7. Now, I'm not going to be adding that nose to this zombie. I'm going to do him noseless and see if we can add a finger puppet. So he's going to be a noseless zombie with a finger puppet. We'll say his nose fell off. I don't know. I kind of like these guys without noses personally, but I don't know. I flip-flop. Once again, this music is rockin'. Rockin'. Alright. Another round of single crochets. See, if you don't make the nose, it's just like 3 rounds of just all green stitches for the beginning of this pattern. Really quick. Yeah, Gary the zombie. Gary the zombie. What a week, though. Yeah, I've been really like trying to power through making as many of these things as possible before this live stream, so it has been quite a week. Marty's making a jack-o'-lantern hat pattern. Yes, I am a very fast crocheter. That is accurate. What else are you guys crocheting? Anybody else making anything else? Oh, a skull, finger puppet, or a brain. Yes. I do think I think a brain is in the future. We do have a little skull. I wonder if I can fit this in him. I think I'd need to make it smaller. Well, maybe, actually. Wouldn't that be funny? Stuffing him with an actual skull? That's too funny. Hello? I don't think it's going to be possible because of the eyes. I think I'd have to make the skull a little bit smaller. But it is kind of funny to have just the idea of there being a skull on the inside of one of these guys is just funny. Zoe is making some mittens, getting ready for the cold weather that's coming in. Here in San Francisco, it is getting hot, hot, hot. So I do not need mittens right now. It is getting like crazy hot. It was like 90 degrees the other day in our apartment. We got Nitty making a pug. Anna's making a gym shirt for a crocheted unicorn. That is very unique. Did I, wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm on track. This is why I love the color change chart. It's so easy to just be like, all right, and then we got a green, then we got a brown, then we got a green. Thank you so much. Hey, D&D Maps, how you doing? You know, I was looking at old live streams yesterday, and I was like, oh, hey, D&D Maps. I don't know. Just obviously made me think about you. pretty. We got a green with a brown. Eliana's making a green wintered hat. One brown, and then brown green. A Rilakkuma bear. I don't know what that is. Never heard of that. Danielle, yes, it did take a lot of work. A lot of thought went into each of the different parts of that finger puppet show, so I'm glad that it paid off and that you guys enjoyed it. I'll come out with it as like just its own video later this week too. Got a green and then an all brown. You're making an Adam Brussels sprout? That's awesome. Also, go to bed. Adam, thank you so much. Thanks, dude. Thank you for joining. Gabrielle, you made a Frankenstein with a color chart. Heck yes. I think you might be the first one that has made, other than myself, that made the Frankie with the color chart. So that's really cool. Yeah, I'll add the vampire next. I'll add him this week. And then I can add the witch and stuff like and then I don't know if the werewolf really needs one, but I might just do one just so that everybody has their own color chart. Love this song. Yes, there's Harry Potter in the background. We'll be yeah, I just to show you how like versatile this pod person pattern can be. We're going to be definitely putting it into use, this color chart, in the future, so that these just to make these patterns a lot easier. Congratulations, Sarah. 10-year anniversary. That's amazing. Alright, we're about halfway done with the zombie already. Wow, Tanya's making a bee. Witch and the Mummy. That's what you're looking forward to? Alright, then I gotta put a little bit more effort into the mummy pattern. ASAP. Bum, 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 bum. This song is from Luigi's Mansion. Best Halloween game ever. One of the best games ever. All right. There's our zombie. Now we can add a couple little face features. I believe that's stitch 2. Yes. We got our second eyes that we made right here. Usually I just make like a bunch of these and just have them inside. This one's a little, I kind of like it though. It makes it look a little bit more creepy that it's not all the way painted. Although this eye looks crooked. Oh, I broke it. I broke it. I'm gonna have to make another one real quick. Because it was crooked. It was a broken eye. Good thing I noticed. Let's paint another eye real quick. Real quick. I'll let it dry as quick as possible. I'm just going to keep crocheting then because I don't really want to, well, I'll tell you what. Let's add one eye right now. Because we have one already prepped. Actually, we'll add it to the other side. So that's our 2, 4, 5. Here's our second eye. We'll add it to this side so we can add the details of the face. Just thinking about the order of making everything. Just one eye, huh? You want to do just one eye? Well, who's to say, you know, Gabriella, who's to say it's female or male? You don't know. I mean, Gary, obviously, you know that used to be a dude. But these guys, you know, she used to be gorgeous one day. She still is, with her beautiful hair. I'm just going to go ahead and keep crocheting around because I have to wait for that eye to dry anyhow. You want to do an embroidered X? Okay, we could do that. All right, yeah, that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea at all. All right, well then in that case, then we don't need any more. We don't need to wait for the other eye. Let's go ahead and just do some embroidery right away. All right, toofs. We need some toofs. Oh, I love it. Oh my God, Zoe, I love that idea. Where is that other eye? Here it is. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. So it's hanging, huh? How would I do that? I'd have to glue it. I gotta think about it. Let's add the mouth real quick though. I know where the mouth goes, so. Glue it on a string. That's what everybody's saying. I just don't know if that's gonna, I don't think the glue is gonna hold onto the string. So I might need to do something different there. Okay. add the bottom part of the mouth, the little jaw. I think I have an idea of how to do the hanging eye. We'll use that eye that we made. We'll see if I can, I got an idea. Instead of using the broken one, because I don't know how I'm gonna attach the broken one to a piece of yarn without glue, and I could use hot glue, but that's just gonna take along like a whole setup thing, and I don't really want to deal with that. So instead, maybe what we could do, we could take this eye, we'll make a slip stitch, put a slip stitch attached to it like that. Let's see if this works. And then we'll just go, I'm not going to go into the center of where I put it normally, but I just don't know. That doesn't really look right either, huh? Maybe if we cut the end here? I don't know. We could do like this, though. It might be kind of weird. I don't know if it'll read as the eye. I mean, maybe if I cut it, it would though. Maybe if I cut it. Let's just hope this works. Oh! There we go. I think I hurt my needle doing that. I hurt my scissors. We'll take this part. Thread that one into here. And thread the other one into, we'll go straight into the center and hope this works. I don't know, guys. This looks a little weird. I just don't think it reads. You know? To me, it doesn't really look like he's got one. It just doesn't look right to me. Let's do an X instead. Let's see how an X looks. You could just put the backer on it to secure it to the slip knot. Yeah. Let's try an X. I want to see what that looks like. Oh, okay. I think I like the X a little bit more. Personally. What do you think? Yeah, let's go ahead and keep the X. Tanya, no, I won't be going live tomorrow. I'll be going live next week. Next Sunday, I'll be live and we'll be making a the hanging bat. The hanging bat. So if you want to join next Sunday. Oh, also, make sure to vote for what the next movie night is. can vote on by just logging into the website and voting there. Okay, let's keep rocking and rolling. I think I'm happy with how the face turned out. One and two. Now I need the green yarn again. Yeah, I only go live on, I try to only go live on the weekends. So only on, for me right now, it's just on Sundays. At 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when I'll be on next week, next Sunday, making the bat pattern. All right, we got it. We're cruising. Then we need our pink yarn. Wow, we have 88 people still watching. That's crazy to me. That's wild. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a like down below. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be neat. A little tighter. All right. Pink and blue and pink. And then back to brown. Done with the pink. Done with the blue for now. All right, so we got 2 browns. And a green and a brown. Okay, then 2 more browns. 1 and 2, and then a brown on the top and a green on the bottom. Man, I love this chart. I love it. It's my favorite new thing. Just makes life so easy. All right, now we need the blue again. Right? Yes. Just back to blue. And now I'm done with the brown yarn, which is so nice. So nice. Well, except for the hair. We'll need to add it for the hair. Okay. Now we got their little bobble stitches in the back loop. The tricky bobble stitches in the back loop. Two. All right. He has his feetsies. That's right. He's got his little feet. He's got his little feet now. Poor zombie. We're actually already coming to the end. Hey, everybody. Everybody. I mean, I'm a little far away from the end, but I do always want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you like all the work I put into today's live stream. Please let me know if you like the way that this live stream went in the comment of this video, not in the chat. I mean, you can let me know in the chat also, but also let me know in the comments of the video itself, because I really want to know how it goes, because I want to know if it's worth it for me to do these kind of crazy live stream crochet alongs with the pattern on, or like, you know, with my phone on the screen and stuff like that. I want to know if it's worth it, because it was a decent amount of work, but like it was fun too. It was kind of exciting, and I don't think I messed up really that bad at all. What is this zombie called? Gregory? Gregory. Steve? Andy? Brian. Brian the Brain Eater. Good old one-eyed Steve. Alright, so we're doing a finger puppet this time, so all I need to do now is I'm on round, like one of the last rounds right there, and I can just cut it and leave a long end. And then we'll make a finger puppet edition. One-eyed Harriet. Good old one-eyed Harriet. Brianna the Brain Eater. That's pretty good. My mom's name is actually Mary, so I mean, my mom's pretty sweet, you know. Mary, the girlfriend of Gary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Patches would be a good name for a Frankenstein monster. Or a zombie, actually. Both of them would work. Okay. Finger Puppet Edition underway. Do you remember in SpongeBob, the part where he goes, "Oh no, I'm the open door bandit"? I don't know why I thought about that, but the one-eyed maniac made me think of the open window bandit, or whatever he calls it. Good old one-eyed Harriet. This camera is just perfectly in the way that I have to like kind of creep over to see what I'm doing. I feel like I'm in a carnival. Alright, Finger Puppet Edition coming together. Well, you know, our zombie's probably been around for a while. So he probably got an old-fashioned name. Yeah, it probably got an old-fashioned name. Harriet, Barbara, Steve, Brian. Steve's not that old of a name. Neither is Brian, actually. Eileen. I like Eileen. That is pretty good. That is pretty good, Mel. Alright, now I just need to increase up for our little finger puppet addition. I like Eileen a lot. Oopsies, I did that wrong. Zombie named Socks. Socks is actually really cute. But I think Eileen's perfect. Spelled E-I-E-Y-E. It's just so perfect. I'll see if I can give her a little ponytail too. Maybe. We need a ponytail, but we like it'd be very subtle because Eileen probably won't have very much hair left. Alright, so we go right through the top of the head. Now we need some stuffing. Not too much. I always have tricky parts with stuffing, how much to stuff it with or how little to stuff it with. And sewing this on should be easy as pie. Easy as Eileen's old-fashioned brain pie. It's a what's that pie? Shepherd's pie, but it's got brains in it instead. There's a joke in there somewhere. Add a little bit more stuffing before I continue crocheting our guy. So I want to get the stuffing on the inside. Boom, ba-bum. The shepherd's eyes. Yes, shepherd's eyes. It's called the shepherd's pie because it's made of shepherds. Shepherds are perfect victims because they're out in the middle of nowhere. No one around. And let's be honest, they ain't really using their brain anyhow. Just kidding. I don't know how difficult it is to be a shepherd. Are there shepherds still? Like, is shepherd still a profession that is done, like, purely being a shepherd? I don't know. Probably. There's probably a couple of shepherds out there still. She ate her own eye? I mean, I don't know why she wouldn't. It's a free meal right there. It's like finding a little bit of food in your mustache. Peach gobbler. Okay. Double knot this, and then we'll add some hair. See if we can do like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we'll see if we can do a ponytail with some like fuzzy hairs. We'll see what we can do here. First off, get that stuffed in there. Like that. Next we need brown yarn, and I'll just go ahead and do a few loops here. Well, how am I gonna do that? Yeah, okay. You don't need it that long. Let's go like that long. See, maybe 4 is probably good enough. Four strands of yarn. You don't need this. Oopsies, got in alright. Okay. I want the... Yes, I want to go like this. One. Two. Yeah, she's gonna look super bald. It'll be funny. All she's got left is her ponytail. Oh, how to make eyes? Yeah, this is how, or how to make hair rather. Naughty? Yeah, not nitty. Needy. I think I'm saying that right. We'll give her a side pony maybe. She's from the 80s. Oh, perfect. Side pony for good old Eileen. And here's how we attach it. We'll take some extra yarn. We'll just use this blue just because who cares? Who cares what her ponytail is tied with? That's pretty good. We'll just double knot that. The Ariana Grande of zombies. That's what they call me. Alright. We'll trim this ponytail a little bit. I like trimming it so it's like each hair is a little longer or shorter than the other. And then let's add just a little bit more of like, let's see what it looks like if we just add a few stragglers. Is it weird that she's got stragglers too? I kind of like it. I'm cool with it. All right, we'll call it there. Brains. Hope you guys like this live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back next Sunday. We'll be making some hanging bats using the Club Crochet Pro kit. Yeah. And I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for watching this whole video. Please make sure to like it down below if you haven't liked the video already. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go subscribe to the channel. You can also get a bunch of Halloween patterns by just going to clubcrochet.com/Halloween. And you'll find all my little Halloween patterns there. Thanks for enjoying the finger puppet show and the pattern. And yeah, I think it all went pretty well. Not very many bumps. Yeah. All right, guys. Pasta la pizza and happy hooking. Bye. See you guys next Sunday. Oh, I totally forgot to announce the winner of the giveaway. Secret Life of Potato Eaters. Thank you for letting me know about that. Yes, the giveaway. I'll announce it tomorrow. I'll announce it tomorrow. On like I'll reply to the comment and I'll let you know next Sunday who the winner really was. But yes, I will let the winners know. I'll choose one tonight. Okay. Sorry about that. I totally forgot. I'll announce it tomorrow. On like I'll reply to the comment and I'll let you know next Sunday who the winner really was. But yes, I will let the winners know. I'll choose one tonight. Okay. Sorry about that. I totally forgot.